Are you ready to travel with me once again from Port Angeles, Washington to Music City, Nashville, Tennessee? Come on, I'm ready for takeoff. It's music time! My musician friend I'd like to introduce you to was born and raised in Wildwood, Florida. Let's head on over to Nashville to meet her.
Our next guest is a talented singer, a wonderful woman, and quite a songwriter. She is also the host of her very own show on Sirius XM Radio, and her recent EP is entitled Gospel Plow. Please welcome back to the program, Elizabeth Cook. Everyone, come on out.
If I had my way, if I had my way, if I had my way, I would tear this building down. If I had my way, if I had my way, if I had my way, I would tear this building down.
Today I'm visiting with my dear friend Elizabeth Cook, and she is a professional musician in Nashville, Tennessee, Music City. Not only are you a professional musician who goes out on the road, you also have a podcast.
Well, it's actually a radio show.
Okay.
It's a radio show on Sirius XM, which is satellite radio. So on Sirius XM, I'm on channel 60 or Outlaw Country if you listen from the app. And I've been doing that show for over 10 years. I'm on weekdays. So y'all are on Pacific time. So it would be 9 to 1, Monday through Friday. They are on that channel, but I'm guessing people are in school at that time when they're supposed to
Probably,
be.
yes.
They're not listening to Outlaw Country on the radio. I also have a fishing show that just went on TV where I have a guest and interview them while we fish. And that's on the Circle Network, which is Grand Ole Opry's new network. And at making a movie right now. So a lot of different outlets and things always brewing, which I think is really something that I've learned that I got lucky that I did, which was to diversify the ways that you make money in art or whatever. So if one falls out, you've always got something else to help along. So that's been fortunate to me that just happened. And I have a number of ways to entertain.
So you haven't always lived in Nashville, right?
I have not. I grew up in the great state of Florida, the wild and wonderful part, very lots of alligators and different snakes and bugs and a very strong hold for country music.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I grew up there.
All right. Well, do you have other musical people in your family?
Yes. My mother was a hillbilly singer from Charleston, West Virginia. And my daddy, he was a bass player and he was from Georgia. And they became neighbors and they met and they got married and had me. So my parents had a band when I was born.
Uh-huh.
Before I was born.
So it's just been a part of your life since the beginning. Yeah.
Yes.
But then
Yes.
How did you know that you really liked music and that you were actually good at it?
Well, to be honest, when I was really little, I like to make music and I like to sing. And my mother actually heard me out on the swing set singing a song called Rhinestone Cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was probably about 3. And she could tell that I could sing the melody like on pitch. So she thought that was fun, especially since she had such a passion for music. So she started teaching me a lot of different songs. And I performed on stage for the first time when I was 4 years old.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, but then when I was 12 years old, I quit music to become a cheerleader. Big career change in
Mhm.
7th grade. And so I spent some years, being away from it, but then through friends and neighbors in our neighborhood church, and I picked it back up again in college and found myself in Nashville, Tennessee when I graduated from college.
Ah, that's right. That's how you got to Nashville. Well, but you play the guitar,
Mhm.
right? And how old were you when you started learning to play the guitar? And who taught you?
I was pretty late to the game on playing guitar. So I really learned to play guitar because I wasn't a very good dancer. And when you're on stage and you're entertaining people, you kind of have to do something besides stand there. So I thought I better learn to play guitar since everything else was not as natural for me. And so I started learning in high school, really, high school, and my mother was nice enough to let me take her guitar to college with me, and I had it there. And then it was when I moved to Nashville and got a big corporate job as an accountant. But when I didn't like that job very much, I got an offer to write songs, and I went and got my first guitar. So I was probably 24, 25 years old before I had my own guitar.
Wow.
I'm a late bloomer. Take your time, kids. You don't have to know it all today.
So you didn't always want to be a professional musician, right?
No, because it was something that the adults in my life did. And so I didn't associate it with being a kid, really, or being playful. I was around grown-ups who were playing their instruments and sort of doing their own thing. And so to me, it was more interesting to do things that weren't that, to explore, because I already knew that. It's opposite for a lot of kids that find themselves drawn to music. Their family is like, why aren't you playing more soccer? But they are really drawn to music, and so they come at it from that opposite perspective. But because I was born into it and surrounded by it, I had to go explore other things.
Yeah, right.
And then did come back to it when the time was right, and it was more on my own terms, where I was really old enough to make educated decisions for myself and what I really felt inside and wanted to do.
Right. Well, when did you discover that you were actually a pretty good songwriter?
Well, that day that I had written a few songs in college, I didn't know if they were very good, but I had one that I thought might be good. And when I was in Nashville and I had my big office job, I got called to a publisher's office who they publish music, and they will sign songwriters to write songs for them to add to their catalog, because that's how they make their money. So I wasn't going in there to audition to be a songwriter. They needed a singer for some of their songs that they wanted to get a new recording of. So I went in to just sing for him. And when I did that, I just picked up a guitar and I played the song that I had written in college that I thought might not be too bad. And as soon as I was done, he offered me a songwriting deal right there on the spot.
Wow.
And so I thought, wow, I'm not as bad as I thought, So that was a pretty good deal and a big career change. But I was young enough in my life and not burdened by too many responsibilities. Some responsibilities, but not so many that I couldn't figure out how to make that switch at that young age. And so I was able to do that and explore it, and never looked back. When I perform now, I have a very high standard of what that experience should be like for me and for the audience. I want all of us to have a group experience together and all come together and have this one thing where we're all taken away by music. So to get myself in a space, the best way to do that for me that I've found is to be so deeply and purely honest with yourself, and so not caring about any of the mistakes or anything that happens as you go by, you just laugh them off. That was yesterday, and just keep moving forward. And there's a real, I feel like people really like to see that because it's vulnerable and it's risky. And so there's it's sort of like flying and not always knowing if your wings are going to work. But but that's when my performances are the most impactful and meaningful to people. So that's my reward. That's what I like to give when I perform is an opportunity for all of us to go to a place together up in the moon and the stars and the clouds, and take a dive through music together.
Pale blue eyes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's time for Rhythms with Ms. Kramer.
Hey, my little rhythm monsters. I'm Ms. Kramer, and I'm doing rhythm class again this week. And we are going to learn a game called Sevens. And Sevens is a counting game, and it's also a pattern game. So there are going to be 4 patterns to this game. And for each pattern, we're going to count to 7, but we're going to do a different pattern for each one. All right, so this is pattern 1. Oh, rewind. If you are in kindergarten or first grade, your first goal is to learn the 4 patterns. Beyond that, if you can put them together, if you can work at doing them faster, awesome. And if not, if it's just learning the 4 patterns, all you need to do for this week. Everybody else, I want you to be able to try to start putting them together for the game, okay? All right, here we go. Pattern 1. Pattern 1 is actually very simple. We are just going to pat, and we are going to count to 7. And we're going to do it 2 times through. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Easy peasy, right? Rhythm 2. Rhythm 2 is not a whole lot harder. We're just going to put a clap in between. So we're going to go like this. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Piece of cake? Excellent. So every time we do a round, a pattern, we do them 2 times through. So as we start adding our patterns, we're going to make sure that we do each of them 2 times through. So that was round 1 and round 2. Round 3. Round 3. Looks like this. We're going to add a snap. Now we're going to add a snap at the top, and I know that some of us cannot snap yet. Some of us will never be able to snap. It's just one of those things. No big deal. Even though you may not be able to snap, you can make your fingers look like it, right? And you think snap in your head. We're going to be counting when we do this, so we're not going to make the click sound like some of us have learned. Some of us have learned to go and make a click sound with our tongue, but we're just going to do whatever you can with your hands, and you're going to count through it, and it's going to look like you're snapping every time. All right, so round 3, pattern 3 looks like this. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we just kind of repeat the same thing over again and end with a pat. Let's do that 2 times through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, that got a little bit more complicated. Round 4. Round 4 is more complicated. We have the pat, we have the clap, we have the snap, but we're also going to add a cross thing at the beginning. And then it changes a little bit from pattern 3 too. So let's take a look at that one. We're going to go pat, cross, pat. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to add our claps and our snaps above that. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, back to the clap, 7. That's a little bit different than 3, right? In round 3, once we got to the snap, we came back down here. Round 4, we're going to come to here, okay? All right, so let's do that one. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was round 4. So, pause it, go back, practice those. You probably don't have to practice this one too much. This one's probably going to come pretty easily, but round 3 and round 4 are the ones that need the most practice. So, the game goes like this. We did round 1, then round 2, then round 3, then round 4, but now you got to go backwards. And so once you finish 4 for the first time, then you're going to go back to round 3. Aha. Then you're going to go back to round 2, and then you're going to end with round 1. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, oh wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we only do 4 once when we get there. Every time we're going to do it 2 times through for each pattern. Holy smokes. All right, let's do the 1, 2, 3, 4 to start with. So it's going to go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Round 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Round 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, that was 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, we just finished 4. Now, we got to go backwards. And we're going to go to round 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Round 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you're done. So let's try it all together without the little pauses in the middle. I'll see how I do. Remember, if we make mistakes, that's good for our brain because our brain is always growing when we're challenged and we're making mistakes. Here we go. Let's do it at that same speed or close to that same speed. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Round 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Round 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Round 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back to 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Round 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Round 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There you go. There you have it. So the challenge then gets to be, obviously, can you do it faster? And can you do it faster and faster and faster? And then you can challenge your friends and you can challenge your teachers so you both can do it and see who can get done before the other. But you can't miss anything in between, right? So you can't miss any steps. So that's where the whole practicing comes. I'm going to see if I can do a really fast round. I haven't made it through really fast yet without making a mistake. So let's see what happens. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, almost. And I think I got all of it. Did I do 2 rounds on 4? You tell me. Okay, my friends, there you have it. 7's pretty fun. Learn it yourself. Teach a friend. Teach your fish. Teach your dog. Have fun with it. See you next time. Bye.
I'm ready to scale this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's head on over to Elements with Mr. Reynolds.
Last week we learned all about chords. Now what's a chord again? The chord. A chord is when 2 or more notes are played or sung together. That's right. Now this week we're going to learn about how chords and scales work together to make a song. To do this, we have to learn about 2 more musical concepts: the scale and the triad. First, let's start with the scale. We actually made a scale last week when we counted out the notes of an octave. Remember? Let's take a closer look at these notes and number them from 1 to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is called a scale. A scale is usually a set of 8 notes that form an octave. Now, there are many different types of scales. The Lydian, the Ionian, the Mixolydian, the Dorian, the Aeolian, and the Phrygian. But we aren't going to worry about that today. The other thing we need to know before we can learn how songs are made is the triad. A triad is the name we give a chord that has 3 specific notes. But why is it called a triad? A tricycle has 3 wheels, and a triceratops has 3 horns, and therefore a triad has 3 notes. A triad looks like this, or this. And a triad is always made up of the notes 1, 3, and 5. Now, the major and minor chords we learned about last week are good examples of a triad. Now comes the interesting part. How do we take these 2 ideas, the scale and the triad, and put them together to start making songs? Well, when we look at a scale and we number the notes 1 through 8, we can choose any of those numbers to be the first note of our triad. Let's take a look. Whenever we make a triad, we're always going to play the bottom note first, then skip a note and play the next one, and then skip a note and play the next one. This is how we get 1, 3, 5 for our triad. The most simple triad we can make is based off of the 1 note. Just like the major and minor chords, this is called a 1 chord. Our triad is made up of the notes 1, 3, and 5. Well, we can follow that same pattern, but have our bottom note be any of the notes of the scale. Here, let's build a triad using the 2 note as the bottom note. This triad uses the notes 2, 4, and 6. This is called a 2 chord because the bottom note is the 2 of our scale. And listen, it sounds different than the 1 triad. Here's the 2 triad, the 2 chord. And here's the 1 chord. Now let's hear the 3 chord using the notes 3, 5, and 7. And then we can do the 4 chord using the notes 4, 6, and 8. If we follow this pattern, we're going to get 7 different unique chords that we can use to make songs. One interesting thing is that each of these chords is either major or minor, just like we learned last week. Now listen to the 5 chord. It sounds happy major. And the 2 chord sounds sad minor. Now that we have 7 different chords we know, we can start putting them together in a specific order to make a song. Now, people have been using this method for hundreds of years to make all of our favorite songs. Here, let's take a listen. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? There was a farmer, had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh, B-I-N-G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh. Let's recap what we've learned today. A scale is what again? Oh yeah, it's the set of 8 notes that make up an octave. And how many notes are in a triad? That's right, there are 3 notes in every triad. And you can make a triad using each of the notes of a scale as the bottom note of the triad. That's it. You can use these 7 basic chords of any scale to make your very own song. Do you feel up to the challenge? Well, come back here next week and we're going to look at how these chords have been used throughout history to make some of your favorite songs. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
It's time for voice class with Mr. Cobb.
Hey everyone, Mr. Cobb here with this week's segment of Voice Class. Today, in honor of Earth Day, which is celebrated this year from April 20th to 22nd, I thought we'd take a look at a song that reminds us to take care of the only planet we can live on, Earth. This song is called Our Earth, Our Home, and it was written in 2011 by Carl Hitzeman, one of the writers for Music K8 magazine. A couple things to know about this song. It shifts back and forth from a minor key to a major key. So in major, you may be familiar with the solfege symbols. Do, re, mi, fa, so. Well, in minor, that mi is lowered a half step, so it's me. So in a scale, a minor scale sounds like do, re, mi, fa, so. And the reason we need to know this is because the melody for Our Earth, Our Home uses intervals to each of these notes, like this. Do, so, do, fa, do, me, do, re. Try that with me. I'll sing it first, and you echo back with the hand signals. You can use either hand. Here we go. Do, so, your turn. Do, so, do, fa, do, fa, do, me, do, me, do, re, do, re. So the song repeats that pattern 4 times for each verse. It uses different words each time, but it uses the same notes. The second thing about this song that you need to know is in the chorus, or the part of the song that repeats with the same words and notes. It uses a lot of what we call syncopation. Syncopation is notes and words that come between the beats, like this. My foot is keeping the beat, and my hands are clapping between the beats. That's syncopation. So here's that beat again, and here's the melody from Our Earth, Our Home. See if you can hear the notes that fall between the beats, or the syncopation. Here we go. We have only one small planet. Did you hear the syncopation? You can always go back and repeat this part of the video once you've learned the song better. Let's get to the song.
The sky, the trees, the grass, the breeze, the food we eat, the air we breathe, our earth, our space, our home, our place. We have but one, please keep it safe. We have only one small planet to call our home. We have to take better care of our earth, our home. We've been here for generations and more yet to come. We have to take better care of our earth, our home. A lake, a sea, a pond, a stream, a shore, a beach, a place to dream. We must take care, we must take heed, conserve, reuse, and plant a seed. We have only one small planet to call our home. We have to take better care of our earth, our home. We've been here for generations and more yet to come. We have to take better care of our earth, our home. Our earth, our home. We have just one. Our earth, our home. We have just one place. Our earth, our home.
I hope you enjoyed this song, but more than just enjoying it, I hope it got you thinking about ways that you, yes, you, right here in Port Angeles, can take better care of our planet. Do you scoop your dog's poop, or do you let the rain wash it away? Do you pick up trash that you see, or do you leave it for someone else to take care of? Do you throw away things that could be recycled because it's easier or more convenient? I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm just trying to get you to think about ways that you personally can make a difference in a problem that is global, and it often seems too big for any one person to deal with. Sometimes When I go on a walk, I take along a plastic bag with me to pick up litter. That's just something I choose to do. Well, that's going to do it for voice class for this week. Think about our planet, and we'll see you next week. Hey everyone, Mr. Cobb here with this week's segment of Recorder Corner. So far in previous lessons, we've learned the notes B, A, G, and high C. We've also reviewed proper posture, breath support, and hand placement, the right hand in the right place. Well, today that hand placement is going to pay off. We're learning the note E today that uses the right hand in the right place that we've talked about. So our new note E uses 3 fingers on the left hand and 2 fingers on the right hand, or a total of 5 fingers. Yes, there are other ways to get to 5, like 4 plus 1 or 2 plus 3, but on the recorder there's only one way: 3 fingers on the left hand plus 2 fingers on the right hand. So, something new to keep in mind as you learn to play the note E. The lower you go, the softer you blow. With high notes like B and A, you can sort of get away with blowing too hard, and the note will sound okay. But as you learn to play lower notes, if you still blow too hard, your recorder will squeak and give you a much higher out of tune note, like this. Here's E the right way, and if you blow too hard, you'll get a really high out of tune note. So blow soft. The lower you go, the softer you blow. Our recorder song today is called Shark Cage because it uses the letters C, A, G, and E. But before we get to the sheet music, let's practice the 3 notes C, A, and G. If you start with A, 2 fingers, C is higher, and G is lower. The note B is also higher than A, but we aren't using B for this song, so we won't be using 1 finger. The note C is also played with a single finger, but it uses the 2nd finger instead of the 1st. So I like to call out second for the note C when I have students say or play the finger numbers. So starting on A, which I'll call 2, we're going to practice going up to 2nd and down to 3, like this. I'll call out 2, 2nd, 2, 3 while you play. I'll give you 4 prep beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll play 2, 2nd, 2, 3. And we'll play that a total of 3 times through so that we get used to playing that pattern. Here we go. You got 2 fingers ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you do it? Well, let's try it one more time. I'll count to 4 and we'll do it just what we did. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Well, the other thing to practice before we look at the sheet music is going from the note G, or 3 fingers, to the note E, or 5 fingers. Again, I'll give you 4 prep beats, and then we'll play 3, 5, 3, 5, like this. So get 3 fingers ready, and here we go. 1, 2, ready, blow soft. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I think we're ready to go over navigation of the sheet music. So here we have Shark Cage. Remember, this uses C, which is second finger, A, 2 fingers, G, 3 fingers, and a new one, E, 5 fingers. The first time we get to use our right hand. Alrighty, let's do some navigation before we start. There are 4 beats in a measure. Quarter note gets 1 beat. Those beats come at a tempo of 120 beats a minute, so 2 beats every second. We start off counting 3 measures before we begin playing. Please note at measure 9 we have a symbol, the sign, dal segno. What sends us back there? This symbol down here sends us back to the sign at measure 9. Also at measure 13, notice we have our first repeat sign, and then at measure 24, the repeat sign that sends us back there. Something new that we haven't done in a recorder piece before is there's this section, starts at measure 29. It repeats 4 times. Normally when you repeat, you only repeat once, but this one we're going to do a total of 4 times, and it's something called trading twos. The guitar on the recording will play 2 measures, and then a recorder soloist will play 2 measures. Since we're using the recorder soloist on the recording, you'll get to hear what the Music K8 soloist does with those 4 notes. So this means they just get to make it up, ad lib, that's what ad lib means, is make it up, and you get to use the notes E, G, A, and C. Those are the notes in the title of our song, C, A, G, E, Cage. So you'll get to hear the guitar soloist and the recorder soloist. If you want to go back and try it with them, and you don't have to play their same exact pattern, but you do have to play those notes. After all that soloing is done, we count to 4, and then that sends us back to measure 9. I'll be helping you as we go through to navigate, so I don't want to confuse you too much before we start. Let's get started. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 5, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2. Count. 2. While you're counting, 3. Look ahead. 5 fingers. 5, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2. Second. 2. Look ahead where you're counting. It's a 2, 2, 2, second, 2, 2, 3, 2. Look ahead. That's 5 fingers. 5, 3, 2, second, 2. Repeat sign. Back to measure 13. 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2. Second, 2. You're on your own. It goes up to second. 2, 2, 2. Second, 2. 2. Look ahead while you're waiting. 5 fingers. 5, 3, 2, second, 2. This time we go right through the repeat sign and count at 25. 1, 2, 2, second, 2, 3. Solo. Recorder solo. Repeat guitar. Recorder. Guitar. Recorder. Guitar. Last solo. Go on to 33. 1, 2. While you're counting, look ahead. 3. There's a dal segno. Takes us back to 9. 1, 2. Look ahead while you're counting. 3. 5 fingers. 5, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3. 2, 2, 2. Second, 2. You're on your own. Start with 2. Go up to second. 2, 2, 2. Second, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2. Get 5 fingers ready. 5, 3, 2, second, 2. Now we go to the coda. Jump down, count to 6. 1, 2, 3. While you're counting, look ahead, get 3 fingers ready. 5, 6. 3 fingers. 3, 5, 2. Hey, you made it. Well, that's going to do it for Recorder Corner for this week. Keep practicing, especially low E, and we'll see you next time.
Well, that's it for this episode. I could end by saying something corny about having a swinging good time, but I won't. See you back here when it's music time!